Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardwired Dog Training. I'm Nathan Beatty, and again, here is Bungie, our new Border Collie puppy. Now, because he's 8 weeks old, he does something called puppy biting, or as I would rather call it, puppy mouthing, because he really isn't biting. He's not trying to be aggressive. He's just teething. From the time your puppy is comes home with you till the time it's about 6 to 8 months old, it will be teething. And that's something important to understand because he's not trying to bite, he's trying to relieve his sore mouth. And he does that through mouthing different objects. Now, aside from that, that's also how he interacts with the world and it's how he plays. And so everything in his life goes into his mouth, including your hands and your feet and your shoes and your clothes and everything on your body. And he has to know that this is not appropriate, especially if you have kids. We want to limit the amount of times the kids get mouthed or bit because what it does is hurt them, and we don't want them to get hurt. And we don't want to scare the puppy by the kids crying when they get hurt by him. And so we need to come up with a method that is appropriate for the dog and for us for our interactions. And one of the ways that's been proposed over time is swatting the puppy on the nose. I don't recommend that because his mouth is already sore and you're just adding to the problem. Now, does it work? Yes, but it's going to make the dog less likely to want to play and interact with you in the future. Another method that has been proposed is to pop the dog on the collar, pop its leash. And while that's a little bit less aggressive and it probably still works, you don't know how much force the puppy is going to be able to handle, and there's a huge risk of you abusing the puppy. Again, just like the swatting, you're abusing the puppy if you're using too much force. And I wouldn't recommend swatting the dog with any sort of force anyway. And so the third method that's been preferred by most trainers is to let the puppy bite you and then say, ow. And you do that, you let out a loud ow noise or yelping noise because the puppy's litter mates do that with each other. So if a puppy bites another puppy too hard, the one yelps, and then the puppy who bit him shies away and knows not to do that again. The problem with that is your role in the relationship is not the puppy's leader, or not the puppy's litter mate. It's the puppy's being the puppy's leader. And so you need to correct a dog like the mother corrects it. And the best way that I think you can do that is by making a verbal sound that communicates to the dog it did something wrong without yelling at it, without swatting it, without leash popping it, or any of that stuff. I think the best way that you can do that is by saying, ah, ah, and then putting the puppy in a sit if it knows to sit. And the reason you do that is because there has to be control over a situation. And if a puppy is mouthing you and just all over the place excited, it's not under control. So you have to communicate with it what you want it to do. After that, there needs to be a consequence. And the consequence is to remove your attention from the puppy for a couple seconds. So the puppy knows, hey, playtime's over. We're not doing that right now. And it's only for a couple seconds. You're only removing that attention for a couple seconds. So after it bites you, you say, ah, ah, put it in a sit. Don't pet it. Don't reward it. None of that stuff. As soon as the puppy sits, you redirect it. And you redirect it with something like a tug toy. And it's really important that you don't just leave toys on the floor. If this is going to work, it has to come from your hand. The puppy needs to know that all the good things come from your hand. So, hey, don't bite me and I'll give you something. That's kind of what the puppy needs to learn. If it wants to bite something, we have what it needs to be able to bite. And so rather than reinforce the biting, you're reinforcing the not biting and the sitting to get the attention. And so that's kind of the way that we need to do that. Um, I would hope for an example to show you, but he doesn't seem to be in a bitey mood at the moment, which is surprising for a puppy. But hey, now at least you have the method. So thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the next few videos that come out.